Hello, my name is Diana Chang Blanc, and I work for the World Health Organization in the Department of Immunization, Vaccines, and Biologicals. I am the team lead for program strengthening in the unit of the expanded program on immunization. I'm here to speak to you today about the guidance that has been issued by WHO and UNICEF on developing a national deployment and vaccination plan for COVID-19 vaccines, otherwise referred to as the Ndvp. In the next few minutes, I will briefly introduce to you the contents of the Ndvp. The Ndvp was published in mid-November in 2020 and can be found at the WHO website at the bottom of the slide. It's built upon the principles of the fair allocation mechanism released by the COVAX facility, as well as the values framework and prioritization roadmap issued by the Strategic Advisory Group of Experts on Immunization, SAGE. The document is a joint effort of multiple partner agency contributions, and it will be updated on a regular basis as the situation evolves and as new COVID-19 vaccine data becomes available. The target audience for the Ndvp are national authorities responsible for managing the deployment, implementation, and monitoring of COVID-19 vaccination, as well as the partner agencies in-country or at regional level who are supporting national authorities in those actions. The objectives of the Ndvp are to provide guidance in designing strategies in the deployment, implementation, and monitoring of COVID-19 vaccine introduction, as well as encouraging alignment with other national plans, be they vaccination program plans or overall COVID-19 response and recovery plans. The Ndvp is built upon existing vaccine introduction guidance documents issued by WHO, anchored around new materials on COVID-19 vaccines, complements and builds upon the WHO-UNICEF Vaccine Introduction Readiness Assessment Tool, VRAT, or World Bank Vaccine Readiness Assessment Framework, VRAF, version 2.0. The VRAF version 2.0 supports countries in assessing program readiness to introduce COVID-19 vaccines, identifies gaps and prioritizes actions for enhancing that readiness, and identifies opportunities for financial support. The VRAF can be found at the link at the bottom of the slide. The Ndvp consists of 13 technical chapters, which I will review briefly in a following slide. The role of the WHO SAGE is critical and underpins the guidance in the Ndvp. The values framework provides objectives around vaccine deployment and is centered around 6 core principles: well-being, equal respect, equity at global and national level, reciprocity, and legitimacy. The prioritization roadmap outlines public health strategies and priority target groups in the context of different vaccine supply scenarios and availability, and juxtaposed against different epidemiological settings of COVID-19 disease. And lastly, the vaccine-specific recommendation, which will be issued by SAGE when market-authorized vaccines become available. SAGE COVID-19 materials can be found at the link at the bottom of the slide. At the time of writing the Ndvp, a lot was unknown about the COVID-19 vaccine landscape, but there were some elements that were known and had to be assumed. The key assumptions were that Phase 3 clinical trial results would be available at the end of 2020, and early market authorization would be issued either in late 2020 or early 2021. At the time of this recording, the Pfizer vaccine has been introduced in several early adopter countries. The COVAX facility targets access to 2 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines by the end of 2021. And the allocation exercise for COVID-19 vaccine will depend on the vaccine characteristics and the supply pace of the vaccines available. The likelihood is that most COVID-19 vaccines will require a 2-dose schedule with a storage temperature of between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Ultimately, the Ndvp is a living document that will need to be adjusted by countries depending on final vaccination strategies that will be determined by the product characteristics themselves. As stated previously, the COVID-19 vaccine landscape remains uncertain. There are therefore constraints to the guidance document. The guidance will likely never be in a final state, as it will require continuous updates as more vaccine product information becomes available and as tools are adapted in response to those vaccine products. The guidance on the ultra-cold chain also remains general, as the cold chain strategies cannot be specified in detail until the vaccine product characteristics are evident. The following technical chapters are available in the Ndvp: Regulatory preparedness, planning and coordination, costing and funding, identification of target populations and the vaccination delivery strategies to reach them, preparation of cold chain and management of healthcare waste, human resources management and training, vaccine acceptance and uptake, vaccine safety monitoring management of adverse events following immunization and injection safety, immunization monitoring systems, COVID-19 surveillance, and evaluation of COVID-19 vaccine post-introduction. Each of these chapters provide key points and detailed technical resource references to guide readers, and the materials will be updated as new information becomes available. Future training modules will be added if required. We hope this guidance can be useful to you as you develop your Ndvps, and we thank you for listening.